Okay, so we've talked about today a little bit about removing sheet calculus from the mandibular arch. Now we need to talk about removing subgingival calculus deposits. And there's a little bit of a trick to that. We want to use a biting stroke rather than that shaving stroke that you saw removing sheet calculus. Today we're going to show you with the Columbia Universal Curette. This of course is a universal curette with a rounded toe, meaning that it can go subgingivally. It can be used anywhere in the mouth, supra or subgingivally. So in order to remove a calculus deposit, first we have to access the area and find out where it is. So that means we have to insert this instrument under the gingiva. In order to do that, we want to make sure that the face and tooth contact is about 0 degrees, as close to 0 as we can possibly get. So I will do that. I will insert with the back of the instrument and detect that calculus deposit. At that time, I'm going to lock the toe 1/3. Remember, that's the only part of the instrument and the working end of the instrument that you're going to use to remove this deposit is the toe 1/3. We're going to lock on to that calculus deposit. We're going to cup it, meaning we want to come above the deposit, and we're going to pop it off with that short little biting stroke. So it's insertion, access it, tip toe 1/3 above the calculus deposit, and we're going to lock on. We're going to push down on our fulcrum finger. We're going to push with lateral pressure with our instrument toe, and we're going to use a short little biting stroke. Hear that? Just a short little biting stroke. We're going to loosen our grasp, and we're going to feel to see if we've removed the deposit. If we have not, we're going to lock that toe 1/3 on the deposit again, right above it. We're going to push down laterally with our instrument toe. We're going to push on our fulcrum finger, and we're going to use a little short biting stroke to pop that calculus deposit off. Let me demonstrate that supragingivally so you can see what I'm doing. We've located our deposit. We've locked the toe 1/3 onto that, right above that deposit. We're going to use a short little biting stroke. We're going to use lateral pressure on the toe of the instrument and push down on our fulcrum finger, and it's a short little biting stroke. Okay, so let's take a closer look at the calculus removal stroke. Okay, so we have located our calculus deposit. We have positioned the working end of the toe 1/3 of this instrument apical to that deposit. We cup the calculus deposit in the curette. Then we're going to lock that toe 1/3 on the right above the deposit. We're going to use lateral pressure, push against the tooth with your instrument, a good strong fulcrum, and then we are going to open that angulation just a little bit, about 80 degrees, and we're going to use a short little biting stroke that will remove that calculus deposit. Okay, remember when you do that biting stroke, you're opening that instrument up to about 70 to 80 degrees. If you open it too much, closer to 90, when you're subgingival, you will injure the sulcus because you'll be using the cutting edge. If you're less than 45 degrees, the only thing you'll be doing is shaving the top layer of that calculus deposit off and doing what we call burnishing the deposit, which makes it very difficult to remove. So remember, once you open up to use your biting stroke to remove that calculus deposit, you're at about 70 to 80 degrees. We don't want to be at 90, and we don't want to be less than 45. Okay, good job.